Wantawi, January 19, 2010. Dubai, the city of skyscrapers and opulence, suddenly became the stage for one of the most mysterious and shocking assassinations in modern history. The victim was Mahmoud al-Mabhouh, one of the most powerful men in Hamas. A senior military leader, he had been tracked by intelligence agencies worldwide for decades. The incident took place in a suite at a five-star hotel. No gunshots, no chaotic scene, just a deadly silence. Everything was so meticulously planned that initially the police believed it was a natural death. They were wrong. This was no ordinary case. It was a perfectly orchestrated operation, a lethal game between covert intelligence agencies and a warning to those who dared to challenge Israel. So who was behind it? Was it a foreign government operation or a personal act of revenge? And why was al-Mabhouh targeted? To understand the complexity of this case, we must go back to the beginning, the origin of the fox. Mahmoud al-Mabhouh was born on February 14, 1960 in the Jabalia refugee camp in Gaza. Raised in a devout Muslim family with 13 siblings, his childhood was shaped by religious teachings and the harsh realities of refugee life. Though he had a passion for weightlifting, his path took a different turn. He dropped out of high school to become an auto mechanic. A humble job no one could have predicted would lead to the life of a wanted terrorist. At 20, al-Mabhouh joined the Muslim Brotherhood, a highly influential Islamist political group. By 1987, during the First Intifada, he formally joined Hamas, an organization founded by members of the Muslim Brotherhood. Hamas, classified as a terrorist organization by Western countries, Argentina, Paraguay, Australia, and New Zealand, became al-Mabhouh's home. The enmity between Israel and Hamas was deeply rooted. It began with Israel's occupation of Palestinian territories, to which Hamas responded with guerrilla tactics, rockets, and suicide bombings. In this context, al-Mabhouh quickly rose to prominence. In 1986, he was arrested for carrying a Kalashnikov and sentenced to a year in prison. He later claimed he was brutally tortured during his imprisonment, a claim never verified. But it was during this time that Mahmoud al-Mabhouh proved his cunning. He became a key figure in Hamas's military wing, the Al-Qassam Brigades. Not just a fighter, he was a strategist, earning the nickname the Fox for a reason. For over 2 decades, he evaded Israel's pursuit, building Hamas's weapons network and carrying out some of the organization's most brutal acts. And it was those actions that sealed his fate. The Dubai assassination was not a spontaneous decision, but the culmination of a decades-long manhunt. The Hunt and the Deadly Game. Welcome back to the story of Mahmoud al-Mabhouh's assassination, a complex case that exposed the shadowy world of intelligence agencies. In the previous section, we explored the rise of the fox within Hamas. Now we'll uncover why one man became the top target of one of the world's most formidable intelligence agencies, Israel's Mossad. In 1989, Mahmoud al-Mabhouh made a fatal mistake. He masterminded the kidnapping and murder of 2 Israeli soldiers, Avi Sasportas and Ilan Sadon. In a 2009 interview with Al Jazeera, al-Mabhouh admitted to the crime, describing how he and his accomplices disguised themselves as ultra-Orthodox Jews to lure the soldiers, abduct them, and then kill them. This brutal act crossed a line not just with Israel, but with Mossad. Immediately after, Mossad issued an assassination order against al-Mabhouh, known as a red page, reserved for Israel's most dangerous enemies. Thus began the hunt. Al-Mabhouh constantly moved, fleeing to Egypt, Libya, Lebanon, and Syria. He established Hamas bases abroad and forged ties with Iran's Revolutionary Guard, securing advanced weaponry like anti-tank missiles and long-range rockets for Hamas. Despite relentless pursuit, he evaded capture with remarkable skill for over 20 years, like a ghost. But fate caught up with him. His life as a weapons negotiator led him to a place he thought was safe: Dubai. On January 19, 2010, al-Mabhouh flew from Damascus to Dubai using a fake passport and checked into room 230 at the Al Bustan Rotana Hotel. Unbeknownst to him, he was walking into a trap. A day earlier, Mossad operatives had begun arriving in Dubai from various countries using fake British, Irish, French, and German passports. Under aliases like Michael, James, Gail, and Peter Elvinger, they booked multiple hotel rooms to avoid suspicion. Some even posed as casual tourists, wearing tennis outfits and wandering the airport and hotel to monitor their target. From the airport, al-Mabhouh was tailed by a surveillance team. The operatives quickly identified his room and rented room 237 directly opposite. Their communications were encrypted and routed through a command center in Paris and a phone system in Austria to cover their tracks. At 8:24 p.m. after shopping, al-Mabhouh returned to his room. There were no signs of an attack. Yet between 8:24 and 8:46 p.m., the operatives carried out the assassination silently. The suspected method involved succinylmethonium chloride, a muscle-paralyzing drug combined with a stun gun, rendering him immobile before he was likely suffocated. Once complete, the operatives staged the scene to resemble a natural death. The room's door was chained from the inside, but small details remained: burn marks on the skin-broken bed slats and a blood-stained pillow. These clues, combined with 648 hours of security footage and the determination of Dubai's police, sparked a global investigation that exposed Mossad's sophisticated espionage network and triggered a diplomatic crisis. Unmasking the espionage network and the diplomatic crisis. Welcome back to our documentary series on the assassination of Mahmoud al-Mabhouh. In the previous section, we witnessed a 2-decade manhunt and how Mossad executed a meticulously planned operation to eliminate its target. But that very perfection led to their downfall. The small details overlooked by the operatives ignited a global investigation, exposing one of the boldest espionage networks in history. On January 20th, 2010, a hotel cleaner discovered al-Mabhouh's body. Initially, Dubai police assumed he died of a heart attack. However, an autopsy revealed bruises, stun gun marks, and traces of poison, confirming an assassination. Dubai's police chief, Dahi Khalfan Tamim, known for his tenacity, launched a massive investigation. It was a near impossible task. The operatives had moved like ghosts, but one factor was beyond their control: CCTV cameras. Police reviewed over 648 hours of footage, meticulously tracking the suspects' movements from their arrival at the airport. They identified a group of 27 individuals, later expanded to 33 operating in pairs and using fake European passports. These passports were the first and most critical evidence. They belonged to citizens of the UK, Ireland, France, and Germany whose identities had been stolen. This sparked a major diplomatic scandal. European governments were furious that their citizens' identities were exploited by Mossad. The UK expelled an Israeli diplomat, while France and Germany issued strong protests. UAE-Israel relations froze for over a year. The evidence mounted. Dubai police discovered the operatives used prepaid debit cards from Payoneer, a financial company linked to Israel. Their communications were routed through a command center in Paris and a phone system in Austria, proving the assassination was orchestrated from a sophisticated hub, not a lone act. As the Dubai investigation progressed, another mysterious event unfolded in Israel. Ben Zigir, an accused Mossad operative known as Prisoner X, was found dead in Ayalon prison in 2010. His case was completely hushed up by Israel until Australian media exposed it. Many believe Zigir betrayed Mossad or leaked details about the Dubai operation. Whatever the cause of his death, it raised suspicions of internal leaks within Mossad. The assassination of al-Mabhouh had far-reaching consequences. Meir Dagan, Mossad's director, credited with restoring the agency's reputation after past failures faced intense criticism. Though not prosecuted, the scandal led to his replacement in 2011. For Hamas, al-Mabhouh's death temporarily weakened the organization. However, his role was quickly filled. Abdul Aziz al-Khalidi, his successor, was arrested in 2011. Surprisingly, the assassination had no lasting geopolitical impact. The clearest evidence is the 2020 Abraham Accords, which normalized UAE-Israel relations. The incident was a brief discord in a relationship that quickly mended. Ultimately, the assassination of Mahmoud al-Mabhouh is more than a tale of espionage. It's a reminder of the shadow wars, the costs of international trust, and the hidden forces shaping our world. The case's challenge and lasting legacy. Welcome to the final part of our documentary series on the assassination of Mahmoud al-Mabhouh. We've traced the rise of a Hamas leader, Mossad's intricate assassination plot, and the global diplomatic fallout. Now we'll reflect on the legacy and lessons of this case, not only for the intelligence community, but also for international politics. The al-Mabhouh assassination became a landmark case in intelligence history. It showcased Mossad's ability to operate effectively abroad. The operation was planned and executed near flawlessly, with operatives demonstrating professionalism and audacity in neutralizing a heavily guarded target. Yet it also exposed Mossad's vulnerabilities. Their overconfidence and failure to account for widespread CCTV and Dubai police's determination damaged their reputation and sparked an unwanted diplomatic crisis. After the assassination, Meir Dagan's position as Mossad director became untenable. Regarded as one of Mossad's most successful leaders, he had restored the agency's prestige. However, the Dubai scandal was a significant stain. Though not prosecuted, European backlash forced his resignation in 2011. For Hamas, al-Mabhouh's death was a major blow. He was pivotal in procuring and transporting weapons from Iran. Losing such a key figure temporarily weakened Hamas's military wing. Yet, as with any military organization, his role was soon filled. Abdul Aziz al-Khalidi continued his work until his arrest in 2011. Perhaps the most surprising outcome was the long-term geopolitical impact or lack thereof. Despite initial tensions between Israel and the UAE, these were set aside. A decade later, in 2020, the UAE and Israel signed the Abraham Accords, normalizing relations. This demonstrates that in international politics, strategic interests often outweigh short-term conflicts, even those involving high-profile assassinations. Ultimately, Mahmoud al-Mabhouh's story raises profound ethical questions. Can extrajudicial killings be justified when dealing with dangerous terrorists? Do governments have the right to act unilaterally, disregarding international law to protect national interests? And do such assassinations truly end violence, or are they merely part of an endless cycle of retribution? The assassination of Mahmoud al-Mabhouh reminds us that our world is shaped by covert wars, the costs of international trust, and secrets that can alter history. It shows that even in a high-tech era where every action can be recorded, covert operations persist. And when those secrets are exposed, the truth is always more complex than it seems. Lessons of history and the future of covert warfare. Welcome back to the final installment of our documentary series on the assassination of Mahmoud al-Mabhouh. Don't forget to subscribe. We've covered the entire journey from the rise of a terrorist leader, a sophisticated assassination, the diplomatic fallout, and the profound lessons learned. Now we'll connect this story to the broader context, exploring its place in the history of covert warfare and what it reveals about its future. The al-Mabhouh assassination is a textbook example of evolving intelligence strategies. In the past, assassinations were conducted in total secrecy, leaving no trace. But with advancements in surveillance technology, particularly CCTV and facial recognition, maintaining secrecy has become nearly impossible. Despite Mossad's use of fake passports, they were exposed by undeniable digital evidence. This case is a wake-up call for intelligence agencies worldwide. In the digital age, every action can be recorded, and electronic traces can be the most damning evidence. The legacy of the al-Mabhouh assassination extends beyond intelligence. It highlights complex ethical dilemmas nations face. The question of extrajudicial killings remains contentious. Supporters argue they are necessary to prevent terrorist attacks and protect national security. Critics contend they violate international law, undermine legal systems, and fuel cycles of revenge. The al-Mabhouh case reignited these debates, showing how thin the line between justice and crime can be. Moreover, the case underscores the complexity of international relations. While it initially caused a major diplomatic crisis between Israel and the UAE, the eventual signing of the Abraham Accords illustrates that shared economic and strategic interests can overcome political tensions. This reflects a key reality in international relations. Despite disagreements, nations can find common ground based on mutual benefits. The future of covert warfare will continue to evolve. Intelligence agencies will need to adapt to technological advancements, possibly shifting towards cyber warfare to weaken enemies. But whatever methods are used, the lesson from the al-Mabhouh case endures. In a globally connected world, no action is entirely secret. The assassination of Mahmoud al-Mabhouh is not a simple story. It's a complex blend of espionage politics and ethics, a mirror reflecting our intricate world. It ended in a death, but its story lives on. It's a reminder that the world is full of secrets, and when they're exposed, they can change how we see everything. In closing, we might ask, does an assassination truly solve a problem, or does it merely create a new enemy? And in today's world, where everything can be tracked, are covert operations still effective? Do you love spy thrillers, breathtaking action, and shocking secrets? Subscribe now to never miss a video. Don't forget to turn on the bell to get notified about upcoming secret missions. Let's explore the dramatic world of espionage.